Simulan na natin. Thank you so much, Attorney Dina De Leon, joining us live from New York. Ayan, alam ko, medyo dahil sa'yo, nawala yung Kevin Spacey. Ano ko, but I hope you recovered, bro. I know you're doing a lot. Thank you so much for making time. I'll tell you, kanina sinasabi ko grabe yung reception yung mga comments. Like, parang Ronald Llamas legend level yung mga responses, bro. Like, the number of people said dapat mag-senador ka na, bro. The number of people said na basta ikaw tumakbo, you got their vote. Iba, bro. I mean, usually the responses I get is napakatalino, napakagaling, or napakadaldal, ganun. But I think medyo next level last time. So, I don't know, maybe you're doing something right, bro. Kaya pag-usapan natin, marami tayong pag-usapan. More power to you, and that's why take care of yourself, bro. Many people are invested in your long-term future political commitment to our country. Um, Pag-usapan natin a couple of things. I want to talk about, of course, yung rally protest over the weekend. There are different perspectives on this. Some would say, no, it's a good sign. Some would say, nilangaw na yan. Some would say, no, 90,000 overall across the country. Some would say, medyo siguro nagpaplato ng konti, pero babalik ulit yan. Depende sa gagawin ng gobyerno. And then, of course, what should happen next? Ano nang next? Pero bago tayo pupunta dyan, Attorney Dino, magsimula muna tayo sa mga sa ating mag-vibe check muna tayo sa ating mga...
Namiss mo. Babalik ka na. Dapat ikaw na
Kaya
mag-host
nga
next
eh,
week, ha?
vibe check tayo dito sa ating mga men of the hour. Speaking of the men of the hour, eto na si Digong, just as we predicted. Wala, good luck. Wala na, archive na, no?
Well, ako, sabi ka, tawa ako doon sa isang, noong unang-unang rally sa EDSA, no? Grabe rin talaga yung mga Gen Z, mga klase, hindi nagpapapigil, no? Kaya kung sinasabi nila na nauuntian sila doon sa nagpunta doon sa rally, tandaan natin na iba-iba rin yung ways of protest nitong Gen Z. Pupunta sila sa kalye, pupunta sila online, pero ang clear is sa lahat, kahit sa mapa-Christmas party man yan, mapa-Halloween protest man yan, mapa-cheer dance competition man yan, papupunta ka sa simbahan, mapapunta ka sa mall, merong snippets of protests lahat yon. So hindi na ito yung isahan, pupunta ka, hakutin mo yung mga tao, pupunta sila sa isang rally, no? Tsaka magpapasko, no? So, kitang-kita sa akin palagay na yung mga Gen Z, yung mga millennials, talaga namang ipagpapatuloy ito, no? Having said that, sabi mo kanina kay Digong, ang narinig ko dun sa rally dun sa last na napuntahan ko was uuwing abo. Yun yung sagot nila dun sa mga Duterte na parang na pinipraise, no? Pinipraise si Rodrigo Duterte. Ano na, one sentence lang eh. Sumigaw sila eh, uuwing abo, no? I think very clear naman sa akin na he will have to stand trial. And trial will continue na, no? Actually, confirmation of charges hearing pa lamang. Pero ako, wala akong duda sa pag-iisip ko eh. At dapat wala na tayong duda sa pag-iisip, sa isipan natin na magkakaroon ng trial dahil na-witness naman ng sambayan ng Pilipino kung gaano kalala yung malawakang patayan nun. I'm sure I've told you, but malinaw naman na, okay lang rin naman na ulitin yung kwento na ako nga nun, abogado, nasa harapan ko, babala ko, iinom ng tubig, may police car, umakit na lang ako, tinis ko yung uhaw ko eh. Di ba? So, it was really, we were really living in a climate of fear. We were really living in a climate of impunity during that time. We were all witnesses. So wala sa aking, walang duda sa akin that trial will happen after the confirmation of charges hearings. Wala ring duda sa akin na dahil nandoon na siya, the ICC knows its duty, knows its obligation, knows its mandate, and will at least continue with the trial. No? So malinaw sa akin yan. Finally, mabibilad na yung ebidensya laban kay Digo.
Just to be clear, Attorney Dino, no? Obviously, presumption of innocence yung operating principle. Pero the quantum or yung threshold ng evidence for you to be brought all the way back to ICC and to be kept there in detention must be very high. In short, yung sinasabi ng mga DDS, biglang, di ba, mahilig na sila sa presumption of innocence. Bakit hindi naman siya convicted? So innocent pa siya. Can we just remind people, ano yung threshold na dapat malampasan bago ka ma-warrant of arrest sa ICC at umabot ka sa ganitong situation na basically
There is only not super high but high enough. Kasi, i-explain natin yung proseso ha. Bago magkaroon ng warrant of arrest, mag-iimbestiga muna yung ICC prosecutor. The ICC prosecutor will initiate this investigation And yung initiation na yon, titignan muna nila kung may ebidensya. Pagkatapos nun, bago sila magpunta sa next level, hihingi muna sila ng permission sa pre-trial chamber. No? Bago mag-conduct ng deeper examination, yung preliminary examination of the situation in the Philippines. So, una, prosecutor, titignan muna kung merong, kung we will even put some resources into this. Afterwards, pag nakita nilang, oh, meron tayong reason for us to proceed, they will apply doon sa pre-trial chamber to continue yung preliminary examination nila in the situation of the Philippines. Iga-grant yan, no? Pagkatapos nun, magki-case build up sila, and then they will again request for a warrant of arrest, and the court will check reasonable basis to believe, no? So, meron, hindi to yung ano hindi ito yung it's higher than probable cause. Ang sabi,
So
reasonable
yun yung
basis to
quantum.
believe. Oo, mas mataas yung quantum sa akin. No, reasonable basis to believe eh. Ibig sabihin, on a reasonable average person's mind, that there should be trial and there is basis. No, hindi lang ito yung, kaya nga yung term na reasonable, diba? Hindi lang ito yung feelings ko, chismis. There is a news clipping. No, there is reasonable basis. So there is initial pieces of evidence, both object, testimonial, no? Dapat na nandyan yan, makikita mo rin sa data yan, makikita mo rin sa documentary evidence. That form part of the reasonable basis to believe to issue the warrant of arrest. So in other words, hindi nila pwedeng sabihin lahat na parang wala lang. Totoo naman, he is presumed innocent, no? Kaya nga, ano to ang tawag dito, di ba? Detention, di ba? Detention pa lamang, hindi pa siya convicted. Tama yon, no? And I want to emphasize that because that is something that we should have na binalandra ni Digong nung panahon niya, napatay nilang mga tao, walang due process. Di ba ito yung beautiful? So nagtataka lang ako kung bakit takot na takot naman tong si Bato de la Rosa na mahuli. Eh ito nga yung due process eh. Ito yung due process, mahuhuli siya, haharapin niya yung charges, at papatunayan niyang inosente siya, eh kung ang makikita, bibigyan niya yung depensa niya kung inosente siya, at papatunayan nung prosecutor na hindi siya inosente. Yun yung proseso, di ba? Pero in the meantime, hindi ka naman guilty eh. In fact, pinapakain ka naman 3 beses sa isang araw doon. Maayos naman yung healthcare mo. Sabi ka na, nakita ko doon sa sagot ni Senator Trillanes, kung mahal talaga ni Bato de la Rosa itong si Digong, eh dapat samahan niya na doon at magkape-kape sila doon at paglutuan niya. Paglutuan niya ng mga masasarap na pagkain niya. Anyway, sabi niyo nga, sabi rin naman ng mga supporters niyo, walang problema dyan. Kasi innocent naman sila until proven otherwise.
Parang medyo trap yung ginagawa mo. Parang, hindi pa to, huwag kang mag-alala, punta ka. Si Atty. Conde nga, mas grabe pa sa'yo. Hindi, mag-voluntary, ano ka, cooperation ka, baka maging mas maganda pa. Sabi ko, parang tinatrap nila si Bato kasi yung ibang kinausap ko,
Hindi,
parang,
tila ba? Bakit siya takot na takot? Natatakot siya kasi makukonvict siya eh. Alam niya ebidensya eh. Alam niya yung mga kalokohan na pinagagawa niya eh. Alam niya na yung dami ng pinatay nung panahon ni Rodrigo Duterte, kaya nagtatago siya eh. Kasi alam niya makukonvict siya eventually. Tignan mo to si Laila de Lima. Even under Rodrigo Duterte's regime, she faced everyone. She surrendered. No? She said, duwag lang ang umaatras, hindi si Laila de Lima. Haharapin ko kayo, hindi ako mag-a-asylum. I will fight here in my country because I am innocent. And then under Duterte regime, kahit na they used the awesome powers and machineries of the state, got acquitted, fought it out, looked everyone in the eye and said, I am innocent and I will continue my advocacy. Alam mo kung bakit? Di ba? Inosente eh. Eh ito mga ito, wala pa nga, nagtatago na. Kasi alam nila guilty. Alam nila eventually mahatuhan na lang sila. At alam nila yung mga kawalang hiyaang mga pinagagawa nila.
yun lang eh. Yun ang problema. Alam mo din kasi, I mean, obviously the juxtaposition is clear in the case of well, your client, and in many ways, idol natin lahat, si Ma'am Laila de Lima. Yun, pre-trial detainee siya, but the way the DDS would talk about her is as if convicted na siya, even if she was never convicted, and the whole thing was really a mumbo jumbo. So isn't it the height of irony na biglang ngayon they're crying about due process and they're saying, "Uy, wag kayong humusga. Di pa naman convicted. Presumption of innocence." Kakaiba talaga mga ano, no, mga DDS nung 2015 to 2022. Marcos, the best. And then biglang unti-unti 2023, ay medyo bangag. And then biglang nung 2024, ay Marcos, napa-resign na natin. Tapos 2025, Marcos, napaka-corrupt diktador, ganun. Bakit sila ganun?
Ito pa.
And then 2028, biglang, Amy and Sarah. Yun yung
Ito pa, sabi nila, bumalik sa Pilipinas. Bakit ba inaatake, it's an attack, an affront against our justice system na para bang wala ng hustisya dito. Hindi kaya dito ang hustisya, kaya dapat dito ginawa ang ICC. Pero okay lang na hindi bumalik si Roque. At the greatest irony of all, okay lang na pagpapatayin yung mga walang hiyang yan. Patayin na lang, imbis na idemanda. Di ba? Eh, kala ko ba gumagana yung justice system? Why did you tolerate so much deaths, so much killings, if you really genuinely believe in the justice system? So you can't have your cake and eat it too. So sa aking mga brethren ng DDS, sana po medyo magbago-bago na po tayo. Alam nyo, meron pa naman panahon no? Para i-abandon natin yung blind loyalty natin at ang loyalty natin na tunay ay doon sa taong bayan and sa prinsipyo, no? Ang prinsipyo na ituturo natin sa inyo ay ang tinatawag na indivisibility principle sa human rights, no? Sa human rights, indivisible 'yan. Ibig sabihin, supposedly, pagka binaliwala mo yan once, you ultimately weaken the same protection that you will need in the future. Tinan mo ho ngayon, sinasabi niyo due process. Bakit hindi dinala sa korte si Rodrigo Duterte? Bakit ganon? Bakit ganyan? No? Asa na due process sa bansang ito? Yan ang lagi yung sinasabi ngayon. Pinahina ninyo ng gusto yung respeto sa due process nung pinayagan nyo si Digong Duterte na gawin ng malawakang patayan. Nung pinusgahan nyo si Laila de Lima na as if guilty na siya. Nung pinabayaan ninyo na patahimikin yung mga katulad nila Teacher Ronel. Nung pinared tag ninyo lahat ng mga nagpo-protesta. Nung sinasabi ninyong walang-walang kwentang human rights. Nung pinabayaan ninyo si Rodrigo Duterte na sinabi wala siyang pakialam sa human rights at dapat patayin yung mga daong bayan, okay lang sa inyo. Ultimately, ngayon kayong nangangailangan ng human rights, nagrereklamo kayo na wala ng free speech, na bakit to si Kiko Barsaga and sinuspend, sinasabi ninyo part of free speech yan, na sinasabi ni Pulong Duterte na bakit daw tinatakot yung mga tao, may free speech daw. Ngayon kayo yung nag-free speech, nung mga panahon ninyo, hindi ninyo prinotektahan yung free speech na yan. So, ang tawag po dyan, indivisibility principle. Sana po lesson learned. Para po in the future, pag sakasakali pong may nagyuyurok ng human rights, regardless of the personality, regardless of the beneficiary, regardless of who it is protecting, you will stand by human rights. Kasi hindi yan based on personality, it is a principle that we have to all collectively protect. Yan po ang tinatawag na indivisibility principle. Thank you.
So hindi basically wag cherry picking or selective lang dito whatever serves your purpose. Can you talk about the case of Bato because he's pushing for temporary restraining order sa Supreme Court sa Korte Suprema ng Pilipinas. Nag-respond na yung Solicitor General including yung speculative nature ng potential warrant of arrest kay Bato. Pero sila Bato they're also questioning yung nangyari kay Digong. Anong assessment mo sa debate sa Supreme Court? I mean,
Well,
obviously, we love the Supreme Court. We have the most wonderful respect for it. But on this issue, let's just... Biglang
happy tayo,
naalala
di
ko,
ba?
ikaw pala abogado kasi...
Happy tayo, kaya behave. Happy tayo na itong si yung Solgen finally nag-appear na dito, di ba? Dati kasi naging stand ng Solgen is dahil sila raw yung nag-question sa jurisdiction ng ICC before the ICC itself through its intervention ng initial part ng Marcos administration ng Occupy Unity team they can't contradict themselves, no? Inabandon na po yan ng bago natin Solicitor General, nag-enter na sila ng appearance as counsel for the state. Bakit? Kasi ang statutory counsel ng government is the Office of the Solicitor General. It is remanded to protect and defend the stand of the government and what's good for the republic, no. So kahit nandoon, sabi niya, we will fulfill our mandate as the statutory counsel. Ngayon, ano yung mangyayari dyan sa Supreme Court, diba? Sabi nga, dininay yung TRO, di ba? Kasi hindi naman clear yung right, at saka parang premature pa yan, no? Very, very clear yan. And then ngayon, magpupunta na tayo dun sa actual debate, no? Is this extradition? Is this not extradition? Very clear and legal basis sa akin. It is not extradition. It's again between two states. Dapat may extradition treaty. Hindi estado ang ICC. What governs is the Rome Statute. And it is very clear that there's still residual jurisdiction. When the time na tayo ay state party pa at hindi pa effective yung ating pag-pull out, pasok pa yan. At kung yun ang tinatry, yung period na yon, yung mga crimes na nangyari sa period na yun ang tinatry, di malinaw na may jurisdiction pa ang ICC. Settled na nga yan sa case ng Pangilinan versus Cayetano, no, na meron pa rin talagang residual jurisdiction ng ICC. 15-0 yon, unanimous decision yon. So hindi yan extradition, number one. Number two, very clear sa ating domestic law na meron tayong tinatawag na surrender option dun sa ating anti-crime against humanity law, no? Na pinasa noon pa. So very clear doon na may option yung executive na surrender. So hindi ko to nakikita na will go any other way, pero sinabi ko rin yan doon kay Chis Escudero. So alam mo naman, minsan may mga mahika sa ating so ang legal system. Ito lang naman ang aking humble opinion as a continuing student of the law, no? Hindi ko talaga makita any other way na maglang all of a sudden biglang mawawala ng jurisdiction ang ICC kung sakaling may warrant of arrest pa. Pero ang very clear sa akin na malamang papupuntahan nito sabihin ng Supreme Court, there is no actual controversy. Bago kasi magpunta sa Korte Suprema, kailangan mo ng actual controversy. Ibig sabihin, hindi based sa chismis. Ang nire-rely nila dito yung ombudsman statement supposedly, no? Na wala naman document. So kung ako ang Supreme Court dito, don't waste our time. Asan yung dokumento? No? Kung merong warrant of arrest o wala, tsaka ka mag-injunction. Pero wala kang papakitang warrant of arrest. Di wala. Wag muna. Pero
Hanash
kung
lang,
nandiyan ay
hanash.
warrant of arrest, yun. Ano yan?
Hanash lang, hanash. Bawal ang
Ano
hanash.
siya sa oras? Sa oras, di ba? Takot na takot
Medyo
si Bato de
may
la
mga
Rosa. Nakita mo
priorities
na,
ka pa.
joke na raw siya. Sabi raw niya kay Pig Lacson, di ba?
Ayan na naman.
Tatalunin ko po ang inyong track record. No? Pero interesting din, no? Meron na before, pagka hindi pumapasok yung senador, kasi trabaho mo, di ba? Ano ba senador, di ba? A senator supposedly represents the people's national interest. Kung hindi ka makapasok doon, hindi ka pumupunta doon sa plenary sessions and there's no reason why. Unlike yung Kalalaila de Lima, may reason, di ba? In fact, nagfa-file pa siya ng motion to at least participate ang ayaw, di ba? Ito si Bato de la Rosa, there's no reason, nothing restrains you from coming. Di ba? There is no warrant of arrest to speak of ba't di ka pumapasok. Ang pwede raw gawin ha is kung hindi pumapasok yung senador, sasarahan yung opisina, iti-take over ng Senate Secretary General yung kanyang staff. Tapos pwede magpasa ng resolution saying na he has abandoned his office so that in the 2028 elections 13 na ang iboboto, hindi lang 12, no? So, I would caution Bato de la Rosa
Mm.
from hiding in Davao permanently, no?
It,
Sabi na sa Davao na
it
nagtatago daw eh.
gets more interesting, di ba? Parang sabi niya, hindi rin kailangan magtrabaho ang senador para may bayad. Sarap buhay eh, di ba?
Di ba sabi niya doon, hayahay, hayahaya buhay, di ba? Tamad eh, ang tamad eh, no? So, pasok po kayo, tsaka ang tapang eh, ang galing kasi, consistent ang track record ng mga duwag na bayolente. Pansinin mo yan ha, throughout history, yung mga duwag na tapang-tapangan na bayolente, pagka tinutugis na ng batas, nagtatago. Nakita natin yan kay Kipuloy, nakita natin yan kay Bato de la Rosa, nakita natin yan kanila, yung mga palparan, na magtatago, 'di ba? Pag tinutugis na ng bansa. Nakita natin yan kahit kay Hitler nung malapit na siyang mapunta, 'di ba? Nagpakabatay na lang at uminom ng lason, no? What's the point? Itong mga tapang-tapangan na akala mo kung sisiga-siga na bully na lagi nag-espouse ng violence at ang daming ginagawang mga kahibangan, no? Very violent people, despotic people. Pag nag-stand up ka sa kanila and you show them that the justice system works, tumitiklop, nagtatago na yung buntot nila nasa, 'di ba? Na nakatago doon sa gitna ng legs nila, no. So talagang mga duwag. Sa totoo lang, yung mga bully and the violent people are the ones na duwag. Hindi mo masasabi talaga matapang yan at hindi exception diyan. Itong si Bato de la Rosa based on the behavior that he is exhibiting.
Talagang ano ka, psychoanalyst ka na rin ngayon. Kapatid, hindi ka lang lawyer,
Na ano ko
psychoanalyst na
lang,
rin.
nakita ko lang naman, pattern in history na yung mga violent, yan, at saka yung mga tapang-tapangan, despot, siga, sila rin yung takot eh. Duwag. Duwag yung mga yan. Kasi sabi ko nga, alam mo bakit? Sabi ko kanina eh, alam kasi na may ginawa sila. Alam nila may ginawa sila kaya hindi sila kayang maging matapang. They can't face
At
everyone in
alam
the
nila
eye. Yun
hindi
yung
Mickey
system.
Mouse court yung mga ICC yan. I think ngayon nagsisink in sa mga DDS na hindi mo madadaan sa drama, sa gulo, yung mga hindi ubra yan. If anything, baka nga tumulong pa nga na ma-reject yung kanyang interim release request eh. Pero nevertheless, may
Awa ko dun
trabaho
sa
pa rin si
ate.
Kaufman, no? May trabaho pa rin siya.
Meron ay kumikita kabuhayan, 'di ba? Kumikita kabuhayan. Pero awa ko doon
Kaya
sa
buhay
ate
eh.
na Pilipina nandun, umiiyak-iyak pa na merong standee ni
Our
Digong, no?
country. Yeah,
Oo,
si
yung
ate.
karton, our
Kasi alam mo
country.
actually malungkot siya. Alam ko pinagtatawanan
Malungkot.
ng tao. Malungkot siya. It means that sa ibang kababayan natin, ito yung konsepto nila ng savior, si Digong. At no matter what evidence you show them, I suppose these people are even based in Europe, enjoying the freedoms of Europe. They enjoy exposure to European Renaissance, Enlightenment values. And yet, para sa kanila, not only is Digong innocent, Digong is a hero, Digong is a martyr. Para sa
Eh,
akin, tragic talaga yan, no?
nakakaawa doon is nag invoke bigla na matanda na raw si Tatay Digong, humanitarian na lang, di ba? Pero hindi naman natin nakita yung the same kind of humanitarian treatment nga nung panahon na siya nandun, di ba? Sa kaupuan, no? So,
Tumakbong mayor
nakakalungkot,
yan, di ba?
nakakalungkot. Tsaka matanda
Tumakbong
na yun,
mayor
ha?
yan.
Ano na?
Tumakbong mayor yan. So he's healthy enough to be mayor of a major city like Davao. Now suddenly he's not healthy enough to be in a detention in a first world country. I just find,
Binoto. Binoto
diba?
na napakaraming
Exactly.
Davaoenyo.
Talagang yung cardboard, diba? Cardboard. Speaking of
Oo.
cardboard, hindi ko lang kung parating ang Cardboard Republic, pero sabi ni Jimmy Bondok, hindi ko lang kilala yan. Attorney pala siya. Republic of Mindanao coming. Isn't that seditious and potential ground for disbarment? Medyo hindi ba medyo Barzaga, never mind, nasuspend yan. But isn't it potentially disbarment ground na mag-seditious statements ganyan ng mga lawyers, no matter how lowly, hindi
Well,
luminary?
dapat siguro si Attorney Jimmy Bondoc should also be careful. No? Bago pa lang eh, bagong pasa naman to si Attorney Jimmy Bondoc, no. Pero definitely kitang-kita mo na yung hindi naman sa nag-feeling akong seasoned, no.
Hindi
Pero
ka pa naman matanda.
Oo, pero kita mo rin yung lack of knowledge and experience sometimes. Katulad ng sinabi niya na yung flood control daw pwede sa ICC. Sabi ko nga doon sa aking nirelease eh, let me be the one to break it up so that you don't have to make excuses, di ba? Sabi ko nga kasi, flood control, very clear ang definition of crimes against humanity. Hiyang-hiya nga ako doon sa mga nag-aral ng entire discipline on crimes against humanity. Ano ba yung war crimes? Tapos sasabihin mo yung flood control, war crime, no? Siguro mag-ingat tayo kasi when we are lawyers, we have the responsibility to at least be careful with our language, with the words we use, and we have to be accurate. Now, I'm not saying that we are accurate all the time and no one is free from any kind of error, pero wag naman yung ganun kalalang deliberate, including this one, di ba? Yung Republic of Mindanao. Parang you are encouraging them to secede from the Philippines. Sabi mo nga, inciting to sedition, no? Siguro, ang maganda dito, ayoko na lang mag-comment, pero maganda dito, dapat sana yung ating mga investigative agencies kasuhan para matest nila, no? Kasi hindi naman ordinaryong tao eh. Hindi lang siya lawyer, ha? Hindi lang lawyer basta-basta tong si Jimmy Bondoc. Ano to? Artista, star, singer, no? Celebrity. Kumbaga,
Tumakbong
kilala natin
senador.
to, bata pa lang tayo. Alam natin kung ano mga kanta nito. May time na sobrang hit niyang Let Me Be
Uy,
the One niya.
mga kanta, isa lang kantang malala.
Isa lang ba? Yung
One
Let Me
hit
Be the One
wonder
ba yun?
yata
O
siguro.
baka nga yun lang. Baka naman ino-overestimate ko. Pero ang point is, may celebrity status, no? So, ibig sabihin, with the stature that you have, it comes with a little bit responsibility. With the education that you have, it comes with a different responsibility. You're not an ordinary person. So, when you utter language like that, iba kasi impact nun, di ba? Republic of Mindanao. Para bang, and it wasn't just a debate. Ang sabi niya, it's coming. Para bang ini-instigate mo no? Baka kung a little bit more careful pa siya and say, let's discuss the merits of having a Republic of Mindanao. Is it even something that is good or bad? I'll engage him in that debate, no? Pero yung Republic of Mindanao is coming, present, 'di ba? Parang present progressive na parang encouraging them to secede. The structure of the language use may arguably be considered as seditious in my opinion.
Parang change is coming, di ba? Parang ganun, yung change is coming. Yung ganun, change is
Change
coming.
scamming. Change
Coming, next
scamming. Di ba?
coming.
Scamming yan.
Yeah. And unfortunately, dumating talaga yung scam. So that's why I'm worried when people make noise like that. Now let's talk about the other interesting element in this roster of fantastic people. Polong. Polong finally mukhang napapa-ICI na rin. Are you surprised that it took this long for the ICI, or some would say this short for the ICI, na titignan itong mga flood control projects? Hindi ko alam kung anong huling beses na nasa Davao ka. I've been in Davao before pero hindi during flood seasons. Pero parang conflicting news ang dumarating sa akin whether JAPEX yung mga flood control projects yan or hindi. Although nakita natin ang taas nung taas ng flooding sa Davao earlier this year, no? Kung titignan mo yung mga reports, medyo mataas. And if they had very effective flood control under Duterte, I don't think that should be the case. Pero ano yung pag-iintindi mo? Bakit for Polong and also Sandro Sabay, itong mga anak ng mga Team Marcos and Team Duterte at the same time to be summoned to the ICI? Is this performative? Could there be something more to this? Anong tingin mo dyan, Dino?
Well, huli kong punta dyan sa Davao is 2018. Pero, alam mo, yung 52 billion na sinasite nila na doon lang sa distrito ni Sandro Marcos, ang sabi nila kahit daw paikot-ikutin mo na pa-curl-curl na yung tren ubusin mo daw yung lahat ng street dun sa Davao, hindi na makabot ng 52 billion yun. Pag gano'n na siya, ibig sabihin kung sobrang, kung ginastos talaga yung 52 billion na yan for infra and all, no? Dapat ano yan bubukol yan. Hindi yung para bang wala nangyari or kahit na may nangyari, hindi posible, hindi feasible based on the land area kung na ubusin ka agad yan within the last 3-6 years, no? Yung 52 billion na. So, surprising kasi bakit ba inaantay rin natin yung ICI, no? Ang dami trabaho rin ng ICI, ang dami niyang inuuna, pero dapat unahin yan. Pero ang dami kasing investigating agency, di ba? Dapat andyan yung COA, andyan yung Office of the Ombudsman, di ba? Andyan yung Department of Finance, andyan yung ang daming mga government agencies, no? Merong presidential, di ba? Anti-corruption task force, ang daming pwedeng mag-investigate simultaneously. So for us to, nababagal ako sa ICI, pero hindi lang kasi ICI ang sagot sa lahat. In fact, hindi nga siya talaga sagot sa lahat kasi wala nga yung prosecutorial power and wala nga rin yung subpoena powers and wala yung contempt powers, no? So dapat other government agencies i-focus na yung Davao. At least ngayon nakita natin hindi yung COA para bang fina-flag na yung mga irregularities do sa Office of the Vice President finally, no? Just today and yesterday. Kasi dati parang sinasabi clean daw. Paano naging clean yung mga sa confidential funds na ginawa chichira yung pera ng bayan. Anyway, at least ngayon, meron ng mga actual findings. So maraming pwedeng mga investigative agencies. Pero para lang sa akin at sa aking limited knowledge on infrastructure because, infrastructure law ang isa sa aking mga specializations. Alam na alam ko kung gaano kalaki yung pera na iniisip na yan at kung gaano dapat ang itsura niyan para mag-translate into actual infrastructure na para bang wala naman tayong nakababalita ang ganyang major infrastructure change dito sa Davao. Lalo-lalo na, one district lang pinag-uusapan, hindi nga City of Davao. One district lang yun, which is yung kay Pulong Duterte.
So magkakaroon ka ng sense of scale, 'di ba? Parang with that number kasi madali mahilo or madala sa bola unless meron kang idea ng scale kung itong bilyon ang pinag-usapan, ito yung distrito, ito yung populasyon, ito yung mandato, ito yung mga pangailangan nila. So kahit hindi ka siguro infrastructure lawyer, basta may basic sense ka ng yung economics and infrastructure, may gets mo na yan. Now punta tayo sa latter part ng ating discussion, which is of course yung meat ng ating, ito talaga yung dahilan na gusto kitang kausapin is because um anong basa mo sa nangyari over the weekend? The number obviously was never expected to be as high as in September. But do you see it, ano ba to, parang temporary dip? Sa tingin mo ba, yung fluke ba yung September? Or sa tingin mo, nag-wait and see ang tao? Or baka naman na yung mga ibang tao, sabi naman nila, we're there in spirit if not in flesh. Or baka there's something really deficient with the organization, or baka some are saying baka dapat maging next level yung meaning more open yung explicit na kailangan natin ng bagong kilusan at kailangan natin ng bagong slate for 2020 kasi I see there's a lot of hesitation parang if we go here baka ma-hijack ng mga DDS, if we go there sasabihin nila na nangangampanya tayo for 2028. Parang ang daming hesitations na nakikita ko and I'm not sure that's maybe it's smart, maybe it's the best possible outcome, but maybe also it explains why medyo hindi nakukuha yung traction na hinahanap ng iba.
Di ba may ano rin, may away din doon sa Luneta and doon sa EDSA, di ba? Na parang sinasabi yung sa speech doon ni Cardinal Ambo. Ako, I think he meant well, pero marami nasaktan doon sa mga taga Luneta kasi nga hindi sinusuportahan yung revolutionary government or yung All. Ako talaga delikado yun eh. No? Pero maganda na rin siguro na kinall out in the open ni Cardinal Ambo kasi he has the moral ascendancy to do so. So as to engage already the other side in the genuine conversation instead of passive-aggressive na, huwag kayo dyan sa Luneta, di ba? Ito, out in the open. No less than the cardinal of the cardinal, di ba? The Bishop of Caloocan and one of the leading cardinals, no, in Metro Manila, saying na parang hindi kami okay diyan, di ba? Tapos nag-react sila. Ngayon nag-react sila after that dahil nga we believe that they're all nice people naman, they will get together and they will discuss ano na ba talaga ang way forward, no? So I think that's a positive development, no? Nakita ko yung mga organizers ng Luneta challenge Cardinal David and Ambo and said we want to sit down with you and talk. Yun yung importante, di ba? Sa consolidation. So ako, blessing yon. Blessing yon na mauupo na sila. Kung nakikita mo yung mga organizers, sila Sister Mary Jane Mananzan, sila May Paner doon sa Luneta. Sabi, mag-usap po tayo. Panahon na para mag-usap tayo kasi we have a common enemy. Maganda yon, maganda yon. And sa tingin ko magkakaroon ng more consolidation. Sa akin hindi fluke, no? Kasi hindi lang concentrated sa isang area, pero ang daming kilos protesta nangyari nationwide, no? Siguro kino-compare din kasi doon sa Iglesia ni Cristo na rally na super well organized tsaka isang ano yun eh parang national convention ng religious denomination nila. Ito naman hindi naman parang required na magpunta kayo, no, or hindi ganyan na parang walang command, 'di ba, na magpunta kayo. So I think magtutuloy-tuloy lang 'yan. May spirit ng Pasko rin, 'di ba? December na. I think mas lalo magagalit yung mga tao ng January kung wala pa rin mga nakukulong at wala pa rin substantial changes and wala pa rin na-freeze masyado na pera, wala pa rin mga nakukulong, wala pang napapanagot, lalong magalit yung mga tao. So hindi mo pa ang galit ha, sa akin palagay. In fact, sa lahat ng corners na makikita mo, merong pieces of galit niyan eh, no? Ang tingin ko, nag-aantay yung tao ng mas maayos na kumpas at pinagbibigyan na magkaroon na magkaroon ng sagot yung administration in terms of its accountability process. Pero galit pa rin yung mga tao, make no mistake. So kung tingin nila humupa na yung galit, hindi po. In fact, kung binibigyan ng breathing space itong administrasyon para gawin ang trabaho nila, nag-aantay yung tao na sabi nyo ha, Pangulong Marcos, meron kayong mapapakulong or sila Boying, may mapapakulong kayo by December. Pinangako nyo yan o sinabi niyo yan, panindigan niyo yan kasi hindi ganito ang mga tao. Binibigyan kayo ng chance to fulfill your mandate. But the people will be angrier if they don't see people being held into account for this greatest kleptocracy in recent history, di ba? Grabe yan ha, ilang taon lang tapos kailangan may infrastructure tapos ninakaw, no? So yun ang basa ko diyan, number one. Number two, so binibigyan lang sila ng breathing space, ganito rin mga tao. Yun yung tingin ko diyan. At I think nagkakaroon ng a little bit consolidation, even yung mga organization ng NETA tsaka EDSA. That's beautiful for me. And you know, these are adults, these are the people that I admire, these are respectable people, honorable people. So that means they will be able to come up with a solution, I think, or at least a compromise. Kung hindi man lahat, kasi hindi mo naman ma-expect na lahat nag-agree sila. Pangalawa, I think the people, and to be honest, I really think so because I am one of them, the people are looking um, for actual leadership, no? Political leadership. Unfortunately, hindi pa nagko-consolidate ng maayos yung opposition or hindi pa nagbibigay ng totoong ano. Although nagkakaroon na ng konting muka, no? Ang sabi naman noong mga liberal democratic forces, no? Na magkakaroon siguro ng pag-uusap at ang sabi, ang deadline daw dapat, no? Mga first quarter next year. I hope that they would be able to get their acts together or we will be able to get our acts together, tayong lahat, so that we can rally behind as late, no? In other words, kaya naman sobrang precarious ang situation, di ba? Ayaw mo ng Marcos resign, kahit hindi mo naman gusto si Marcos kasi andyan si Sara Duterte. Ayaw mo talaga yung mga Duterte. Ano ba yan? Parang pilit na pilit tayo
Medyo
kasi walang
ipit tayo eh,
alternative.
oo.
Walang alternative.
Gaganon-ganon tayo.
Oo, ganun-ganun ka kasi walang clear alternative, and the opposition, the genuine opposition has not yet presented itself as the clear alternative, di ba? They are already sending messages that we shouldn't be stuck with the Marcoses and the Dutertes, but wala pang muka eh. Wala pang hubog, wala pang muka yung alternatibo. So para sa akin, no, moral obligation, morally bound and moral obligation talaga ng opposition to provide an alternative. At hindi lang pwedeng mensahe. Kailangan ng mga tao ng muka. Whether we like it or not, politics is also personality based. And they would want to see who are the personalities being considered. Kahit na intramurals yan, makita nila yung proseso at makita nila kung sino itong mga taong ito. No? So sa akin, hindi naman kailangan mag-crown na tayo ng reyna at hari now. Pero kailangan sabihin na rin ng opposition, oh, we are considering these five. There will be some sort of intramurals in selection process, di ba? And we will hopefully, there might be a debate within them, televised if necessary, di ba? Parang primaries, and there's gonna be a selection process, di ba? And then yung proseso na yun, pwedeng kailangan pag-usapan. Pero dapat may proseso at alam na kung sino yung mga yon. At may panawagan na kung sino man ang manalo dito sa primaries na ito, sa intramurals na ito, eh lahat tayo magko-consolidate behind that behind that candidate.
Okay. So, obviously, yun yung sinasabi natin. Kami ni Ronald, sinasabi namin yan right after 2022 election, sana yung pink movement, no? Now, I want to be fair also. So, kanina lang kanina umaga dito sa UK time, kausap natin si Kristan, di ba? Isa siya sa mga nagsalita dun sa event, etc. So, I wanted to get a sense of ano yung internal thinking dun sa mga organizers, di ba? Without spilling too much beans. Ang basa ko dito, I don't know what's your theory of the case is, talagang ilang sila na ayaw nilang lumabas na epal or silang nag-hijack nito for their own political purpose. So, ako naman, I appreciate yung ganitong thoughtfulness, I would say. Pero parang medyo timidity din siya, di ba? Or at the very least, diffidence. Na what I think we can agree on is medyo delikado at this point in time. Considering yung mga Duterte ay walang hiya talaga yung mga yon. And there are even worse elements who want something even more. But to be fair, hindi kaya baka it makes sense to wag tayo magmaganda masyado. Let's take our time. In the case of Lenny, she has a domestic constituency to take care of. Ang dami niyang problema dyan sa Naga. You know this better than me because of your connections there. I'm just trying to be fair to the other side of this argument na why hindi lahat atat or at least hindi lahat on the same page as say Senator Riza who has been saying also consistently over the past year na baka kailangan na magtipon-tipon ng tunay na opposition. Anong basa mo dyan? What's your theory of the case? Yung hesitance na yan?
Uh, yung hesitance na yon, I know coming from the right place. Di ba? Coming from the right place, coming from the
It
right
is
place.
coming from the right place. I don't question it.
Oo,
Yeah.
pero makinig kasi tayo sa taong bayan. Taong bayan naghahanap eh. Hindi pwede kasi, di ba? Diyos ko, parang napanood na rin naman natin to dati. Di ba? Hindi pwedeng walang leadership, no? Uh, nandito tayo sa public service, kailangan magkaroon ng some sort of leadership in terms of saying, oy, talo na, next level na. May kumakamada. Sino ba kumakamada? Parang umaasa na naman tayo lahat sa civil society. Sino ba ang kumamada niyang EDSA rally, di ba simbahan, tsaka yung Tindig Pilipinas, puro civil society. Kailangan yung mga heroes doon, no? In fairness, nag-step up at nag-step up yung ilang mga heroes at nagsalita na doon sa stage na sila rin yata ang gumawa. Di ba, yung Liberal Party, for example, gumawa na rin sila ng marcha nila. Ganon. That I appreciate. That I appreciate. Hindi nila hina-hijack sa taong bayan, pero they are showing that we are one with you, at pinagsalita yung mga heroes, di ba? Yung mga principals, kailangan magsalita yung mga yun kasi sila yung, so, sino bang papalit? E di sila, bigyan mo ng platform. Di ba? Yun lang sa akin, bigyan mo sila ng platform, allow them to speak, allow them to cascade what should be the ideal kind of government that we want, what is the aspiration that we want to be forwarded in this country, what are the things what are the policies that we want to advance, and say it and articulate it, hindi yung, kasi baka maanong pala, baka sabihin nila, hindi. Sa akin, ang ideals ang policies, ang aspirations have to be articulated by people we trust. And these people could only be trusted if they go out in the open. So, sa akin, naiintindihan ko sila, pero hindi yun yung style ko. Sa akin, kung ikaw ang oposisyon, you rise up to the occasion. Yun lang sa akin. Hindi yung hesitant, 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 hesitant. Kumita na yun eh. Natalo na tayo dun eh. Baka lang kasi ako, ayoko nang maulit yun. Baka naman rising up to the occasion is the right approach this time around. So kung ako lang tatanungin, wala naman ako monopoly of wisdom, pero kung ako lang tatanungin, ang preference ko is to rise up to the occasion and already declare at kamadahin na at show the people na ito ang klaseng alternative that we want. In an alternative universe, this is the ideal, the kind of democracy that we want.
So huling-huli, no, let's call it, for the lack of better term, the Bam Aquino thesis, no? Kung ikaw si Bam Aquino, and I'm thinking Bam Aquino's mindset and Lenny are not too far apart, considering they have worked together on multiple campaigns, some more successful than other, but always either number one or number two si Lenny. So pretty successful, I'd say. uh, just as successful for Bam, who was number two in the latest Senate. My sense is, if you're Bam Aquino, or yun yung, parang sasabihin mo ngayon is, baka ang strategy dito is, slow burn tayo, time is on our side, let just these two sides destroy themselves, wag epal masyado, focus on concrete and constructive issue. I'm trying to be fair to Bam, and I can actually hear this literally, like I can imagine Bam saying, guys, iba ngayon, 'di ba? Things are on our side. Chill lang tayo, wag tayo magano, epal or magmaganda. Time is on our side. And then let's focus on concrete issues that go beyond itong pakulungin lang ito si X, Y, and Z. So, again, bam, the whole education, yung basically abundance, yung Ezra Klein style, di ba? Yung parang let's just focus on
Mhm.
abundance, the democracy and all. In as much as, of course, Aquino ako and all. I can say that in theory that could be a very strong argument. Where I would disagree perhaps with Bam, and I've already expressed this, and Ronald and all are said is, yung ganyan strategy baka successful sa Senate race, pero for presidency, talagang head to head yan eh. And meron, naka-ready na yung nakalatag na yung kabila eh. So I don't think baka yung ganyan slow burn, war of position might work. Baka you might need some of a war of a maneuver already in going for gold, no? But I'm just trying to be fair, no? Alam ko, Dino, maraming galit sa akin before kasi I keep on going lang. Pero siguro dahil nagiging gentleman na ako ngayon, parang, what if ito yung...
It must be the, ano, no, the Oxford effect.
I think, biglang, baka naman, hindi kailangan magbardagulan ako. Or baka, may nagsabi nga sa akin, tignan mo ngayon si Zoran Mamdani, ang daming naloko kasi smile lang smile. Ikaw, mas magaling ka pa magsalita kaso dami mong inaaway. Sabi ko, o ano, pakabait na nga ako. So,
Tama naman sila eh. Hindi ko sinasabing
tama
mali
si
sila
Bam
eh.
din eh, yung ganyan thinking. I
Tama
can
sila.
see where it's
May
coming from.
balanse.
Tama si Bam din eh.
May balanse. Definitely hindi yung 6 months before. I don't think 1 year before. Tingin ko, hindi unreasonable enough to say first quarter next year, meron ng some sort of selection process. Second quarter next year, mas nagiging linaw na yung hubog. Third quarter next year, medyo mas malinaw na sa atin kung sino ang pinipili natin. Fourth quarter, game face on na. In other words, wag naman yung ganong slow burn na 6 months before na wala talaga, di ba? May balance yan. So sa akin, a little bit show up, say that this is the alternative universe that we can have. We are consolidating, have I don't know, monthly meetings where all the principals are there. 'Di ba? Show pictures of you
Oh, basta
meeting
next
without
to each
necessarily
other. Oo, next
discussing.
to each
Oo,
other.
without
Correct.
necessarily
Yun
discussing
din ang
what were
sinasabi.
covered in the meeting. Pero pakita kayo na you are getting your acts together. 'Di ba? Pakita ninyo na you're united. Pakita ninyo na merong alternative. Pakita ninyo yung kamada. 'Di ba? Sa akin, yun lang eh. Hindi ba basic yung student council ka, may weekly meeting eh. Siguro naman itong mga principals, hindi naman masamang go inside one room na hindi nangyayari, and I'm privy to this, one room, monthly meeting, discuss the direction where we want to bring this movement. Yun lang. Hindi yun too much to us. Hindi yun,
It's
tama
not
ba
too much to
Richard? Hindi
us.
yun too much to us.
Mm.
Hindi ba nangyayari yun ha? And I can tell that for sure. Na hindi regular yung meeting nila, nauupo sila together as principals. And merong things, merong agreement on principles, may agreements terms of reference, may basically deliverables, may key result area. I don't know. Wala. I know that for a fact.
Yun nga eh.
Hindi yun too much to us.
So I think we all can agree we need a balance. So I can see the BAM argument, which is wag masyadong atat, wag masyadong epal, maging more constructive than aggressive. Kasi parang yun yung
Agree.
lesson nila from 2019 election eh. Although again, I would argue, as you mentioned, that was an exceptional case. I would even argue that was not really an election. Rigged yung
Mm.
election na yan eh. The opposition could not even campaign. Baka ma-drug tag yung mga LGUs and etc. But anyway, I'm just trying to be fair to that argument. So if we were to provide a blueprint, alam ko it's already 7 p.m. there and almost midnight here, but I think we're arriving at a good point, and I want to end on this point, because I think this is very important. So, if we were to give a blueprint, I don't know if you saw my Inquirer column this week, was a kind of a generic blueprint of a
Mhm.
reform agenda. So basically, Ezra Klein abandons economics plus a little bit industrial strategy and old school good governance.
Mhm.
Pero meta yun eh. On the micro meso level, the reason I'm asking you, Dino, is because you know all of these people I'm talking about. In a sense that you talk to them, nakipaghalobilo ka, kinakausap mo sila. Ako, I know them at the level of hello, hi, like we know each other's work. Pero ikaw ka-close mo sila, so mas naintindihan mo yung mga pitik nila, yung mga kiliti nila.
Mhm.
Ano kayang mid-range compromise way forward? Kasi again kung ako kunyari si Bam or supporter ni Bam, sabihin ko, ay ayoko yung isang proseso na biglang baka ma-sideline yung si Bam or kung supporter ka ni Risa, o bakit sila Bam at si Lenny? You know what I'm saying? So ang maging fear ng iba is baka maging divisive pa. At this point, hindi na, wag na natin pag-usapan yung standard bearer ngayon. Medyo divisive na ngayon eh. But I
Mhm.
agree with you. There has to be a middle point. Kasi may price din ng diffidence and omission eh. In the same way na may price din ng kaepalan and overdoing things.
Yeah.
So is that Goldilocks? So in short, are you saying, Dino, kunyari by the end of this year sana meron isang conference, isang panel na lalabas yung mga elder statesman, lalabas itong mga great leaders at mag-joint statement sila, sabihin nila may process kami, may blueprint kami. Do you think we should move? And then there has to be an calibrated PR press release, may mga spokesperson. Kasi medyo disparate masyado eh, parang all over the place eh. Kailangan i-consolidate. And kudos to Cardinal Ambo for really stepping up. But he's not gonna run for president. He's not gonna be Senate. God willing, he'll be a pope one day. But we're talking about people who could be our leaders in 2028, if not earlier, di ba? Or at the very least, di ba, Dino, meron pa rin ng posibilidad, although the probability is lower, is there could be a coup. There could be a resignation by Marcos. Hindi pa rin, hindi pa rin safe si Marcos, eh, di
Hindi
ba?
sarado yun.
Exactly. So anong plano natin for transition if God forbid something crazy happens, di ba? So, they have to be adults in the room at kailangan nila i-communicate sa atin yan. So, kaya nga ikaw ang tinatanong ko, I know you're also a politician, so you're not gonna say everything on the record. Pero gusto ko lang makita ng tao na pinag-iisipan din namin to kasi tinatanong ng tao yan, ano ba talagang plano ng progressive pink and liberal movement?
Ang maganda sa akin at alam nila to, Richard, because I talk to them like this, no? I'm a colleague. So para sa I'm a volunteer. I respect them, pero they know for a fact that I tell them my thoughts. And I've been saying this, no? I've been saying this. Ito yung sure ako. Una, mabubuti talaga silang tao. Mabubuting tao to mga to, magagaling naman talaga sila. Pero sabi ko mga tao sila. So meron talaga silang sensibilities. Meron tayong mga iniigatang mga friction from within. Totoo naman yan eh. And any movement, nandyan yan, di ba? Um, ang sure din ako is meron naman silang capability to go over those frictions because these are statesmen, sacrifice so many things for the country, no? Ang hindi lang ako sure right now is sino yung may ability to convene them in one room and make sure that that convening will be consistent
Si
so that they
Ambo
can
pa
come
rin?
up
Si
with an
Cardinal
agreement.
Ambo pa rin? Hmm.
Baka si Cardinal Ambo, baka one of them, no? Pero definitely they ought to do it with regularity. I've told, I've told Laila, Senator Congresswoman Laila this, I've told sila Kong Chel, no? Na parang pwede bang mag-gather kayo in one room, take a photo and discuss kahit na wala mo na kayo sasabihin sa publiko basta makita ng tao na magkakasama kayo with regularity. They will
United
see
Front.
that there is a genuine alternative and ma-hype up rin yung base. May excite yung base to campaign. Ito na, finally. Di ba? Eh ngayon kasi hindi mo ma-excite yung base, hindi ka nila sure kung sino sa inyo at kung tatakbo kayo, kung may interest pa kayo eh. Di ba? Kung meron ba tayong standing chance. Sa akin kasi, para magkaroon ka ng chance sa laban, kailangan nasa fighting position ka, di ba? Hindi. Kung wala ka sa fighting position, ready for battle, paano ka lalaban? At paano makikita ng tao? Paano magbe-bet yung tao sa iyo kung wala ka man lang sa fighting position? People need to get signals. And they can only get signals if we get our acts together and come up with a blueprint. And that blueprint can only happen in terms of, hindi lang blueprint, pati yung optics and yung messaging, that can only happen if they meet with regularity. So ang prayer ko, ang aking Christmas prayer na I blurt out first for the first time here in your program, in your in your podcast is hopefully they will gather together by this December and they will do it henceforth with regularity, with clear objectives each time around. Sana monthly meeting. Sana monthly meeting. And I
Oo.
don't think that's too much to ask from all our heroes and principals.
Maraming salamat kapatid na obviously itong mga conversation natin hindi lang for deep dive, ito yung kasama din sa Team Pinas group natin, tayo na nga na hindi importante, ikaw importante pero kami mga pitsugin
Hindi.
nagsasama-sama tayo, di ba, nagsho
Oo.
kami nga mga vloggers, nag-united front kami. I mean, Catriona nag-step up, si Christian, celebrities, everyone is stepping up, but at the end of the day it's about the political leaders. Ang political leaders see the future, they see the path, kaya nga leader, di ba, you
Correct.
should be ahead of the curve. So naintindihan ko yung hesitations, yung mga concerns, bawal ang epal, bawal ang mag-hijack. I'm very glad that the religious leaders are stepping up. But at the end of the day, it's the political leadership has to do it. At agree ako I think the minimum I wanna see before the end of this year, at yun lang sanang Christmas gift nila sa atin is isang literal united front. May front sila na united sila, some sort of a picture, some sort of announcement. At yung pangako sa ating lahat na hopefully in the next year or so, ilatag na nila yung blueprint for a new Philippines that hindi lang hindi corrupt, but way more than that. Walang dynasties, rule of law prevails, hindi tayo umaasa sa ICC to get justice, right? To deal with all of the structural economic issues we're facing. So yun sana. So it's working, no? Di na bumabait ako ng konti. Napansin
Very
ko.
good, very good. Babalik ka na naman sa Pilipinas
Very
next week na
good
ba?
nga.
Sana naman hindi na ulit bardagulan. Ako din, mapakabait ako habang nandito pa
Oo,
ako.
kasi nasa New Amsterdam ka, di ba? Yun ang Netherlands dati yan, di ba? New York.
Yeah.
Actually, kanina dami nag-surprise kasi halos 5% lang yung input ko. Sila Christian lang nagsalita, tsaka Christian was 60% and then si Mark and all. And na-surprise, ba't parang ang bait mo? Ba't yung nanay ko? Anak, bakit hindi ka? Pagod ka ba? Okay. Hindi, para magsalita naman sila, maganda naman sinasabi nila. No, you know why? Bakit I feel I can relax. Because nakikita ko na everyone is stepping up na. Parang
Yeah.
bakit pa ako ginagawa naman ng lahat eh. May time kasi bro, alam mo naman parang konti lang kami makukulit. Not that others are not doing anything. Of course, you guys
Yeah.
were doing important things. Pero yung in public and open, parang kami na lang ni Ronald nang gugulo and all. Ngayon, lahat nag-step up na pare.
Saka
Tingnan.
masaya ngayon ha. Masaya ngayon ha. A lot of people now realize na we have to prepare earlier. So, ang ganda, ang ganda. So, hopefully, that
Excited.
will translate to actual actions. Pero at least that is a common realization for all people. Ha? For all people in the movement regardless. Yun, we have to start early. No?
On that note, thank you very much, Attorney Dina De Leon, for really an encompassing discussion. So nakita mo, nag-warm up lang tayo sa mga digong and polong discussion. But this was really the thing I was looking for. And thank you so much for
And
bringing
positive
this.
note positive note. I think
Yeah,
very hopeful, very hopeful.
absolutely.
Hindi lang
Absolutely.
tira, di ba? At very hopeful. And I think there is a good future for the political opposition. No? That's a
Absolutely.
good future for the
And to
political
balance this in
opposition.
the next 12 hours, we're gonna have Sir Ronald Llamas back on this show to give a different flavor to this program kasi nagpakabait ako. Magpahinga ka na, Kapsat, ha? The best ka
Thank
talaga.
you.
Nag-line kami. God bless, Kapsat.
God bless,
Talk
God
to you
bless.
soon.
And
Send my
Yamana,
regards to your better half. And sana one day, catch up din tayo dyan sa New Amsterdam. Ay,
you're always welcome. You have a
yeah.
couch here.
Ma'am Danistan, New Yorkistan.
Okay.
All right, thank you. See you, bro.
Bye-bye.
God